The healing of Rick, a testimony of faith. It started like any other week, until Rick woke up with a fever that burned deep in his bones, accompanied by aches that seemed to seep into every muscle. Over the next few days, his condition spiraled downward fast. The fever spiked to dangerous levels, his skin grew clammy and pale, and he struggled to keep even water down. By the time he was rushed to the hospital, doctors confirmed a severe, aggressive infection had taken hold, but no tests could pinpoint its source. For days, the medical team threw everything they had at it: powerful antibiotics, 4 fluids, and round-the-clock monitoring. Yet each morning brought worse news. His white blood cell count kept climbing, his organs showed signs of strain, and the infection spread despite treatment. The doctors spoke carefully, their words heavy with uncertainty. They were doing all they could, but the prognosis was unclear. Rick's family and friends refused to accept that this was the end. They gathered at his bedside, in the waiting room, and in their own homes, praying without ceasing, singing worship songs that had carried them through hard times before, and holding fast to the belief that God was able to heal. Rick, weak as he was, joined them in prayer whenever he had the strength, his voice barely a whisper, but his faith unshaken. One night, as medication made him drowsy and the hum of monitors filled the quiet room, Rick slipped into a deep sleep and had a dream that would change everything. In it, he stood in a bright, peaceful space, and a gentle voice asked him, "If you're having a bleed, and you want to stop the bleeding, why aren't you using the word of God to stop this bleeding?" The question echoed in his mind long after he woke, his heart racing with clarity he hadn't felt in weeks. As soon as he could speak, Rick told his wife about the dream. Without hesitation, she pulled out her phone and began searching for scriptures about healing and stopping the bleeding. She found passages that spoke of God's power to make the sick whole, of faith as a shield, and of the word as a weapon against all harm. Together they read the verses aloud, their hands clasped tight on the hospital bed, and prayed, not just for healing, but to anchor their trust in God's promises. Within hours, subtle changes began to show. Rick's fever broke for the first time in days. His breathing grew steadier. By the next morning, lab results stunned the medical team. The infection was receding, and his body was fighting back with a strength that had no clear medical explanation. Day by day, his recovery accelerated. Swelling went down, his appetite returned, and he was able to sit up, then walk. 6 days after that prayer, Rick was discharged from the hospital. For Rick and his family, there was no doubt. It was an answer to prayer, a reminder that even in the face of the unknown, God's power is real. His story has since traveled far, shared by Tracy Costin and others, as a testament to the hope that comes from trusting God in seemingly